So this video I'm going to make to answer a question that I'm asked an awful lot. What is up with your hair? Hair in my videos has been, the hair on your head, that got weird fast. You can even see like back in my first videos, I think I mentioned how my hair looked.
My hair is ugly.
So first, why do I have this red freaking hair? Why did I switch it from brown? I had been living in California for about 7 months, and I went back to Austin, and a friend that I had made through that time had basically this color hair. Her name was Alicia, and it was brilliant flowing red hair. And she had way more hair than I had, so it would go down. It was so cool. I was at a party with her, and we had been drinking, and I was like ogling her hair and how cool it was, and I said I would love some hair like that, and she said, well, fine, let's just do it. And so I decided that I would, and she also taught me how to do it. So that's how I got exactly this color of super red, because Alicia already had the hair dye sitting around her house when I decided that I wanted to do it drunk one night. Let's go through some of the things that are good and bad about having this freaking bright hair. First, the good stuff. This is a really easy icebreaker. When people see a dude with this going on, they immediately assume that I'm pretty approachable and pretty personable, which is true. Next, I would have to say compliments. It's really nice to be walking down some random street and some dude who doesn't know you at all says, hey, nice hair. And it does make you feel good whenever that happens. Finally, I would say being recognizable. And this is in two factors of being recognizable. One, if someone sees you for the first time, they're basically gonna remember you from now on. And two, someone has seen me on the internet, and then they see me once in real life, they kind of remember me because of this thing. And of course, for me, who is very vain and makes YouTube videos, this is kind of a big deal. It's kind of nice to have people know who you are from just watching you once. Another time that being recognized works out really well is especially when I was going to conventions and I'd have to slip by security. If I'd convinced the security once that I was allowed to be inside, which was normally fake, then they would just let me continue on without showing my badge or anything because they saw me, they knew that I had the credentials and would just let me back through. So I only had to fool them once to get in through something secure. Now, on to the bad stuff. I ended up with being recognizable in the good stuff, and that also translates to the bad stuff. Anyone pretty much that I've met once pretty much remembers me, which makes it difficult when I'm trying to do like sneaky stuff. I was trying to sneak into a Sony press event, and normally what I do is I go try one person, like it fails, and then 5 minutes later go back to the same person and try a different tactic. I can't do that with this red hair because everyone always recognizes me. The next thing that I would say is a disadvantage is a lot of people prejudge based off of the hair. Sometimes there are people who see the red hair and make their own judgments about who I am and what it stands for and my type of personality, and they treat me as such, which kind of sucks. Finally, this is basically just an extension of the prejudgment, but yelling people. People have literally screamed at me on the street because it's kind of the opposite of the compliment thing that happens on the street, but with people screaming at me. I was on the phone with my mom, I was in a park, I was just sitting on a bench just having a normal conversation with my mother. When out of nowhere, while still on the phone, this lady comes up to me and just starts screaming in my face, after what happened in Colorado, you should change your hair back. And of course, I didn't really have the foresight or thought to be like, I had this hair before the whole Colorado thing. And in fact, the guy who did the whole Colorado like theater thing, he had orange hair and it was curly. It wasn't even the same color. On top of that, if some dude had dyed his hair black, it doesn't mean that he's copying Hitler. Just because I have my hair red does not mean that I'm copying anyone, except for Alicia, who was really cool at that one party. So anyway, old crazy lady screams at me while I'm on the phone with my mom, which felt really bad because it's my mom on the other side. And I didn't say anything because I was so flabbergasted that someone would even do that. In conclusion, this really works for me, and especially in my career path. I have a career of trying to get people to remember who I am and like who I am. Also, at this point, it's almost pure laziness that I have it still red. There's a lot of stuff that I would have to update if I wanted to change my hair color. Like I'd have to do Twitter, Facebook, Google+, YouTube imagery, Minecraft stuff, the whole OMG Craft like intro would have to get redone. I can't imagine all of the assets that I'd have to rebuild just to reflect a new type of hairstyle. I hope that this has answered your question. Thank you for watching. Bye!
OMG, it's Chad!